Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to this Sunday's edition of No Oxygen Sunday.
JC here.
And I have also with me JC. We are glad that you joined us, and we're here to wrap up the week. And it's been quite a week. So let's just jump right on in, shall we? The stimulus. Now, it's funny to me how there's no Republican support for stimulus money that's necessary for their states to function. It's very popular, and 76% of Americans wanted the bill to be signed. So they
Weeks ago.
weeks ago. So they did it with reconciliation, uh, with no GOP support. And now it is on its way back to the House to be, I guess, the new changes to it to be signed off by Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats over there. Now, I know some of them have grumblings at the fact that the $15 minimum wage increase was removed. I know AOC's pissed about it, and Bernie Sanders is pissed about
They
it.
should be.
And there are little grumblings that they will not approve the Senate's version of the COVID package. Now, mind you, there are other things in it like aid for the states and vaccinations and testing and all that stuff that's still very necessary because that's the shit Trump didn't care to do or just didn't care about. Um, Basically, it's gonna pass. Okay, so probably by next week or maybe next Monday, if you already have set up for the automatic payments to your bank account, that's when the $1,400 will be there.
I think they were saying March 14th seems to be the day,
Okay.
which sounds about right.
Okay, because remember, there's a deadline also too about the people's unemployment running out, so they didn't want an interruption with the extra benefit. What that was $400.
But last year, don't forget, it was $600. So how did it get from 600 to 400 and now it's this measly 300? Like a slap in the face to American working people.
Well, you know why. You know why. We all know why.
It's outrageous.
Because the Democrats want so badly to be liked by the Republicans and show bipartisanship, to show unity, because Biden wants it so bad from the White House. Like I said to you guys before, and I'm going to say it again, what happened on January 6th implied to me that there's not going to be any unity and any working with the Republicans on anything.
Can't negotiate with an asshole at heart.
Well, like Nancy Pelosi said also too, you can't negotiate with terrorists.
Right.
And there are some senators in this session that helped this shit along.
And meanwhile, I don't know if there's any kind of like mechanism to prevent millionaires from running for Senate seats. But I think they said like 60% of the people who hold these Senate seats are millionaires. How could they possibly do the right thing for the working Americans when they are all about, capitalism, greed, profit, their own special interest? They care more about their donators and their big super PACs or whatever you want to call them than they do their voters.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's very clear.
Well, the thing of it is, if you want to serve your country in this fashion, that you should be able to do it. But you should also take with you the honor that the position is supposed to perpetuate. If you're going there to make legislation to keep you rich,
But that's just it. The whole system is designed and set up to lure in these ruthless pigs that come in, and it's all about their own special interest. I've seen it firsthand. I know some people.
okay, all right, listen, I'm not denying that you do. The point is, if you want to serve your country or have a public service bone in your body, you need to prove it and divest
Right.
from everything that
So
will implicate you to enriching yourself.
so maybe that will be part of the Biden Harris overhaul of democracy. Well, not democracy, to save
Listen.
democracy and to do an overhaul of this governmental system of checks and balances. I mean,
Well-
it's just all designed. I don't know. It's just designed for these assholes. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, there isn't anything you can tell me that that isn't already apparent to everybody else. The fact is, the American people elect these folks. Now,
I mean, I like Nancy Pelosi, but why is she worth $35 million?
I think you need to check your math. Nancy Pelosi is worth $234 million.
Okay, so what's the difference?
I mean, combined with her husband's income.
So how could someone like that,
And please fact check me. I always encourage that. I don't know what to tell you. The point is, if you're leaving Congress richer than what the salaried job is, then I think the American people need to figure out how it is you're super mega wealthy and your constituents and your state is not. For example, Kentucky and West Virginia. And I segue that because I segue into this asshat, Joe Manchin.
Oh my God.
Now, I encouraged people to do their homework about this guy. Now, he claims to be Democrat. All the while, if you research his whole career as a senator, he has caucused and voted with the Republicans. And he's flown under the radar of straddling the fence to both poor white Republicans and Democrats in West Virginia, if there is such a thing of Democrats in West Virginia. I'm sure there is.
Joe Manchin is owned by the coal industry. All he cares about are his donors. Everybody knows it.
I know, but coal is dead. Coal isn't coming back.
He doesn't think so. He claims that
You know?
coal is still a vital source of energy, and especially in West Virginia.
Well, he is a thorn in the Democrat side because, like I said, he caucuses with the Republicans and he votes very conservatively. He claims to be a moderate or a conservative Democrat. I don't know where that falls on the scale, but I don't know if there's such a thing. But he has interests that we need to dive into.
Right.
He owns a hotel.
And I think the first year...
His daughter is the CEO of a medical research company or a medical medicine pharmaceutical company. And we need to find out why he's saying the things that he's saying and why he's blocking certain things. West Virginians are already poor. If you walked on the street and asked a West Virginian, should you be making $15 an hour, they will clearly tell you yes. That ain't got nothing to do with black or white or Democrat or Republican. It's a life thing.
There was an inquiry as to why Manchin, in his first year as a senator, made $1.7 million. Like, why is that? How, like, I mean, right then and there, he should be removed. He's enriching himself just like all these other asshats.
And I'm trying to tell you, there is a reason why he votes the way he does. And now he's got this somehow standout power in Congress because he doesn't want to get rid of the filibuster. So today he said that he will make using the filibuster harder for the minority
that's a horse shit.
when they clearly want to use it as an obstacle to stop progress for the American people. Now, let's dive in a little bit into what the filibuster even is. The filibuster was designed in the Jim Crow era to require 60 votes. And this was put into place so that civil rights and Voting Rights Acts and the lynching amendment, everything that would that
civil rights.
would give civil rights to black and brown people would require a higher threshold of the vote to pass.
Right.
And it's been used to block certain things that could help the American people, mainly when Democrats want to do something for the American people. The Republicans filibuster. Now, I know it's a double-edged sword because Democrats use it as well, but Democrats tend to use it when Republicans want to spend absorbent amount of money on planes that don't work, or when they want to give tax credits and tax advantages to major corporations and rich people who don't deserve it, because trickle-down economics don't work. It never has. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. So, I mean, I have nothing else to add to that. So,
Well, all I have to say is Biden's agenda won't work if Christian Sinema, who's Arizonan, she's also Democrat, but caucuses with Republicans because they're scared of losing their seats and primaried, or scared of being voted out because of their large Republican fellowship that got the bad weeds out of the garden. I don't know what to tell you. But my point is, if they don't fix the filibuster, or at least change the rules of it, Biden's agenda is not going to happen. And 2022 is just around the corner. The Democrats need to get a bigger majority so this wouldn't be an issue.
are they actually working on? Is Schumer trying to, spearhead getting rid of this filibuster? Is that still on the table, or are they just sucking it? I mean,
I don't know what to tell you about
because
Chuck
I
Schumer.
feel like it would have been removed by now, if they.
I don't know what to
Or
tell
what-
you about Chuck Schumer. I don't know. You know how I feel about the Democrats. Their messaging is non-existent.
They're just not. They're just not aggressive and ruthless in the way that they speak. I mean, they don't have. They don't talk like a Trump or, a Mitch McConnell, or these. They're just, I don't know. It's like, it just seems like when I hear them speaking, it's like I'm listening to Mr. Rogers.
I don't know if it's so much as style. It's more of a backbone issue for me. You can't make promises to the American people in a new administration and that you ran on, and then the minute you get opposition from the minority in Congress, you just fucking give up. That's what's going on. And I know it's only been a month and a half, and I know you guys, you gotta give them a chance. They just got there. But this is what the Democrats do. Look back through history. They are weak. They don't fight for the American people with the verve that the Republicans do.
Well, Biden signed some executive order this morning to save the voting rights. I don't know if you read that.
I did read it, but sweetheart, you have to understand something. When a president signs an executive order, it has to be backed up with legislation
I know.
to make it stick. Signing something on a piece, because that's all Trump did. And that's why everything that he signed into an executive order got overturned in the courts. Because they didn't back it up with legislation. And if Biden's going to do the same thing.
Well, he's trying to lead by example.
Example from what? What example?
Like, I know, exactly. Like, along.
Well, what you say it for, honey? Example from who? Do you have one?
No, his example. No, I'm saying the emphasis of him doing the executive order in and of itself is he thinks he's going to persuade people.
Okay.
Even though he knows he doesn't have control over this state by state. I mean,
because he doesn't. Now, if they back up what he's written on the executive
So
order
what I'm saying
with
is,
legislation
he's
in
saying,
Congress,
he
then
hopes-
yes, what Georgia's doing will be moot, what Arizona's doing would be moot, and what all these other states are trying to do would be moot. Because, listen to me good. If you suppressing black and brown vote only makes them show up. and show out.
That's right.
And stand in line longer.
And they will.
When will they understand this? You can't decide because so many more black and brown people showed up that, oh, this is not fair, it's not going to count. Well, then you know what you need to do? Run better candidates that are less racist. Run on policies that benefit everybody, not just the 1%. How about stop telling poor white people that, oh my gosh, you're still so much better than black people when you clearly aren't. The point is, when you run better candidates who have policies for everyone prospers. You can be racist all you want at your house, at your kitchen table. That's your business. But when you are basically running as a racist person to represent your state, and we have some, and they did win. They're sitting right in there right now, in the House and in the Senate, blocking shit for regular folks. And you, in fact, you mentioned a couple of days ago, you saw an article about during the, back in the 60s when black people wanted to swim in the swimming pools.
Oh, right, how it hurt white people.
And right, so they passed legislation that black people now have to swim in the swimming pools, and you know what they did? They filled them with dirt, so nobody could swim. That's what's going on right now.
And the whites were livid because they couldn't enjoy the swimming pool.
That's what's going on right now.
So
it's just the new Jim Crow, and we need to figure this shit out. Well, there's nothing to figure out. We already know what it is.
Yep.
And I mentioned this before in a previous live. If we keep having a circular conversation and there's no one of power willing to have the courage to break the circle, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere. It's not going to do anybody any good. And I know you white people are tired of hearing about race. Well, you know what? Too damn bad. Race is here until it is dealt with. Whatever guilt you may or may not be feeling, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's all on you. We're just seeing it manifested in Congress and in cops with their knees on people's necks. You can't turn away from it. You can't turn away from it. That's all I'm saying. Thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I feel bad that a lot of white people can't delve into their own privilege, and because when you ask an average white person, "Oh, do you have guilt?" It's like they don't even know what to say. It doesn't even calculate in their head. I just think there needs to be more awareness. There needs to be more protest, more grassroots about this, more discussion. So that it will change. I mean, a lot has changed, but a lot hasn't changed at the same time. So, I don't know. I mean, I never thought of white privilege until this whole George Floyd protest thing started. Not white privilege, you and I have talked about it, but I never focused it. I mean, am I supposed to focus on it on a daily? No, but it's like I'm going to use my Black Lives Matter mouth and get out there and talk the talk.
Okay.
I mean, do I feel guilty for being white? No, but I'm white. I mean, I can't change that.
But that's the thing. No one is trying to make you feel guilty of the skin that you were born in.
Well, I'm only talking about this because what you said about Bill Maher last night, how he made that comment on how he can't get on a flight these days without a Black Lives Matter pin on the lapel of the flight attendant, and I'm supposed to feel white guilt all the way until I land. It's like, what?
Well, there's a big misconception. Look, if you see a Black Lives Matter sign in the window or a sticker on someone's car or even a pin on someone's lapel and you're triggered by that, you got issues you need to deal with.
I'm not triggered. Yeah.
Well, I'm not mean you.
No.
But my point is, no one actually gives a shit about how you feel when you see it.
The thing that I would say personally
because your feelings are your
own.
But your feelings are your own problem. And when you got I say this all the
I thought that
time.
was ironic that he said that though, because doesn't he
He
have
re-
black girlfriends?
he is revealing who he is more and more with every Friday that he comes on the air. And personally, I've stopped watching him because
No, I mean, I know what you're
it's a
saying,
personal
but I
choice.
think a lot. I think maybe I don't know. His ratings maybe have gone down, and he opens his mouth to get the controversy going, and that gives
He
him ratings.
he speaks too much of cancel culture too quickly.
Okay, now first of all, cancel culture is not a
No,
culture.
I
It's not
think
a
people.
culture.
Well, we have Fox News
That's a
and
misnomer.
Newsmax and the right to think for cancel culture being misconstrued as it is. When you are held accountable for your actions, from the shit you say out of your mouth, you're being held accountable. You're not being canceled. Further actions in that regard will get people to not follow you or stray away from you or in essence just not give a shit about you. Therein lies the cancellation. You're taking an action or saying something has happened to you because you don't want to be held responsible for the shit you say out of your mouth. And then you want to blame cancel culture for it. You need to
I think
understand the difference between the two, and I hope you guys understand.
it's not a culture. It's a fad.
You can't fucking cancel
Cancel fad.
Dr. Seuss because the owners of the Dr. Seuss Corporation decided that books in their series of many books was a little racist, so they wanted to take it out of production. You, we know. First of all, we know the bait and switch. We know what that was because the same shit with Mr. Potato Head. I didn't even think people even play with Mr. Potato Head
And
anymore.
I don't know if you saw the latest.
But we get what you're doing.
Now they're saying that they've removed Pepe, the character of Pepe Le Pew, from one of these upcoming cartoons. I don't. Did you hear about that?
No, I have not gone down the cartoon rabbit hole.
I mean, where does it end?
Well, first of all, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, okay? Absolute nonsense. Now, I know the Dr. Seuss people have come out and said, wait a minute, this was our decision. We decided to, because we looked back on these books and decided they were racist and they did not fit the times.
Fuck Dr. Seuss.
Now, how in the hell it became all this other shit and Kevin McCarthy reading Green Eggs and Ham, not even understanding what the hell the situation even is. They're good at distraction people. He knows that bill is coming back over to the House and they're looking the other way.
It's just an easy target because there are so many other American what's the American what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't even know what you're trying to say, kid.
No, I'm just saying, why are they focusing on fucking Dr. Seuss? Why didn't they pick out Walt Disney? What about his past? You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? They won't touch Disney.
Look,
They're not going to touch Disney.
I didn't want to have this conversation. We touched on the subject of cancel culture and how they could
Not a culture.
well, whatever.
It's a fad.
Whatever. The point is, I've stopped using the word. I know I have used it in the beginning and a lot, actually. It actually it gave me great exposure to call out people for their bad behavior. And at the time, I did use the word cancel. I'm canceling you. But in essence,
No, you said you've been canceled. I remember.
and of course, with black culture and black and brown culture, cancel could mean anything.
Right.
It can mean anything. But in this case, it's holding you accountable for the shit you say out of your mouth. Okay? So I don't use it anymore because now I'm calling it out for what I need your actions to be doing.
There you go.
Okay? If you get caught, that means you got. Is what that means. Okay? So, now, tonight is a big night. Oprah Winfrey again has scored the interview of the century.
No surprise there.
Now, of course, you know, talk show girl, game show girl turned actress, turned princess, moves to the UK with her new Prince Charming. And of course, with any country, when a black woman does well with a white man, all hell reigns supreme. Yes, we're talking about Harry and Meghan. They've been in the news constantly since this whole we're leaving the royal family business. And now y'all knew at some point she was going to have to spill the tea. You knew at some point.
What could they possibly talk about for 2 hours? I mean, it's going to be 2 hours.
Now, see, this is what a lot of people are misconstruing. I can't say that word today. Misconstruing about the interview itself. Black women know what I'm talking about because black women live it every day.
I know, but they're
especially when they date and marry outside their race.
No, but they're still going to have to talk about the history of Great Britain and the kingdom.
Oh God, who gives a shit? The point is, they racially profiled her. They acted racially hostile with micro and many aggressions against her, and then it still continued. And y'all have to know she was going to talk about it with somebody. And since, of course, they live in Montecito, right down the street, probably from Oprah, they knew. You ready to talk now? So here it is. So tonight it comes on. But that's not the story. The story is the UK. You know, because the little snippets of the interview was leaked. You know what? Let me just play this clip and we'll talk to y'all on the other side.
Yes.
And Meghan's interview tonight with Oprah Winfrey. The couple airing out their grievances with the royal family. ABC's Julia McFarlane is in London with more. Julia, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Well, according to the Sunday papers, the Queen won't be watching the interview, but according to the network, more than 60 countries who've bought the rights to it, they will be. This morning, expectations running high ahead of Meghan and Harry's highly anticipated sit-down with Oprah Winfrey. The Duchess explaining the reasons why she chose this moment to tell her side of the story.
So many things that were on the other side of a lot of life experience that's happened, and also that we have the ability to make our own choices in a way that I couldn't have said yes to you then. That wasn't my choice to make.
Meanwhile, the royals projecting unity, the whole family taking part in the Queen's Commonwealth service.
The coronavirus pandemic has affected every country of the Commonwealth, cruelly robbing countless people of their lives and livelihoods.
Held each year in early March, the family continuing to show its business as usual. The theme for this year's Commonwealth Day highlighting global efforts to tackle the pandemic.
We, Kath and I have spoken to a lot of healthcare workers in the UK and around the world over the last year, and we hear your worries and your concerns.
The palace perhaps hoping for some good press after blowback for its decision to open an investigation into claim.
Okay, so that's a little gist of that. The UK has lost their minds. Now, you know, Meghan and Harry has sued the papers over there constantly for the bad light that she was put in. And now the palace has said they launched an investigation into Meghan's bullying of the staff. Really? Is this what we're going to do, Queen?
But do we really know who the woman is? Who is Meghan? Do we know her? We don't know her personal life.
A lot of black women know who Meghan is.
Everyone thought they knew who Nancy Reagan was.
Oh,
she was a witch.
That is an apple and an orange, and you know it.
No,
y'all are. Who cares that she's a princess? She's a black woman first, and you're missing the point of this interview. She is talking about how she was treated as a royal, being black, and you just said so yourself. If she was white, none of this would even have been an issue. They'd still be over there. Her and Kate would be having a little cat princess fights, but still, she literally fled the UK to Canada and then from Canada to America. Do you absolutely think that if she was a white woman, any of this would be happening?
No.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So put the tiaras aside and the dresses aside and all that aside. She is a black woman first, and she's telling her life experience dealing with this shit while being a princess. Now, if Harry was going to bring home a Latino girl, it would probably be even worse.
You think?
I know. That's the purpose of this interview. That's the purpose of this interview. And frankly, we're going to watch. All the way from the tutor to the rooter. We're going to watch it. Okay? We are going to watch it. Now, I don't care how they sugarcoat this royal family with all this business, but you saw what they did when Andrew had all these ties with Epstein. They focused on Meghan. They turned the blind eye to what all the other pedophiles were doing in the royal family. There ain't no different than anybody else here in America trying to do a bait and switch.
We will see.
Yes, we will see.
We will see.
Well,
trust me, I don't sit around thinking of those two people.
Well, none of us do. But the point is, racism is everywhere. And she's about to blow the lid off of this shit.
Good for her.
She's about to blow the lid off of it.
She does.
You know? And Oprah just does what Oprah does, all in people's business getting paid.
I hope they're all sitting down.
You know? So, I mean, there's really not anything else I want to talk about with these two. Yeah. I mean, they here in America, they claim they don't want to go by any royal titles, but they're clearly going to be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex forever. And now she's having another baby. And probably another one after that.
As long as they have endless amounts of cash in their account.
Well, he was only left so much.
No, they get a stipend.
No, they declined all of that while leaving the royal. They left.
No, they did decline.
Like I said, y'all,
JC
puts his ear to the ground and hears nothing sometimes.
They still get money.
They don't.
Yes, they do. Look it up.
They don't.
They do.
They don't.
They get $300,000 a year.
All right, well, that's enough about them. So we're going to keep it moving along. So today is the anniversary of Bloody Sunday. And it's the first anniversary of Bloody Sunday that we didn't have John Lewis. And I'm sure he's looking down on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They're trying to get renamed the John Lewis Bridge. And I don't know if they'll achieve that, but they're going to come close to doing it.
I think they will.
And this goes back to what we said before. We can't let his legacy die when they're just trying to strip away voting rights. And they've got to do something. Now, you know, the new bill is going over to the Senate, and which is dead in the water because of this filibuster business. Because at their core, Republicans don't want fairness for black and brown people when it comes to voting, because they know they'll be the minority. Damn it. Minority. They see the constant change in America. They see that it's becoming more diverse. And Mitch McConnell tried it, putting these young conservative judges in districts all around the country to do just this thing right here, to fight the good fight against democracy and voting rights for everyone. Thoughts?
Well, I think they need to change the name, and it's kind of pathetic. Trump didn't even mention his name when he died last year. Do you remember that?
I do, but I don't really want to talk about him.
No, nor do I. But I'm just saying, like, there should have been way more. It should have had a larger impact than it did, I think.
Of course. I mean, listen, the people that appreciated John Lewis's life, he knew.
Are they protesting today on the bridge?
No, there's no protests.
Well, they should.
There's probably a ceremony or some sort over there. Well, I'm sorry I don't have any footage, because I'm sure that there is.
Ceremony/protest would.
I'm sure there's some footage somewhere. I'm sorry I didn't provide any, but you know, I'm looking at it as a somber day because he's not with us anymore.
I'm just saying there should be some outrage and outcry today on the anniversary for the voting rights movement.
I'm sure there is.
I mean, it was.
Well, you've got your phone there. Why don't you see if there is, and then report it to us?
I don't have time to be all on my phone.
You got nothing but time, man. You're in a show right now.
It's been the movement was underway 56 years ago, and it's still underway today.
Oh boy. Anyway, so changing gears. We're going to try and stick to an hour, but changing gears, we can get it all in. So changing gears, the George Floyd murder trial is coming up.
Yes.
And I understand the prosecutors there want to add back third-degree murder charges that they dropped. They want to add them back onto the list of charges.
Okay.
So jury selection is due to start
But
tomorrow.
But he is charged with second degree.
Correct. But last year sometime they stripped away one of the charges, but now they're bringing it back.
I thought they changed second degree to third degree, and now they changed it back to second degree, and now you're saying they're going to go back to third degree? Is that what you're saying?
No, they took away the third degree murder charge. They bringing it back.
Well, let's just hope they get an impartial juror.
Well, that's going to be the thing. Jury selection starts tomorrow. They've already fenced up the courthouse.
Because they better not fuck around with this.
It stands to reason if you're doing the right thing from the start, there's no need for fencing of any kind for anyone.
That chauvinist.
Just me.
What's his name? Chauvinist? Is that his
Derek
name?
Chauvin.
Yeah. Well, Chauvin is the if you look it up, that's the etymology of chauvinist. No, he needs to go to prison.
Well,
or
you know how I feel about justice. It's always white.
Or they need to protest.
It's always white.
They need to protest with rage.
I'm not going down the rabbit hole of, because we saw the videotape. We all saw it. We saw it with our own eyes. So good luck getting a jury to who isn't already preordained to say he's guilty.
They're killing him with his hand in his pocket.
We don't need to rehash. We don't need to rehash it.
Jesus Christ.
We could just touching on this and going. So tomorrow starts the jury selection, guys. Okay, so keep your eye on that. Let's see what else.
I'm still I know all of this racial injustice. It's like the one case that really kills me every time is Eric Garner. I know you're sick of hearing about it, but
I'm not sick of hearing about it.
They seem to omit his name when they do the big list of everybody that's been murdered. And, Eric Garner's case was a joke. I mean, that guy is free. Or was it two cops?
I'm looking into the camera because y'all see the look on my face, right?
I don't know.
I don't know why JC isn't with it. Justice has been one-sided forever. I don't know why you don't understand that.
Well, there should have been more of an outcry back then in Staten Island or wherever the fuck it took place.
Well, geez.
But,
such language about the issue that one has such passion for.
But at least the Garner, you heard it. The Garner family were paid civilly, weren't they?
Well, so was Breonna Taylor's family, but the point is they don't have their family members, which I'm sure they'd rather have back.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Anyway, I say all that to say this. Y'all know what's going to happen. I'll be pleasantly surprised if the latter happens, but there's that.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see. So we're rounding the corner now. We're gonna explain to the new people watching. This is a live stream / podcast / online show that JC and I have adapted from TikTok over to YouTube. So if you're wondering why you don't see him, because he just sits here at the table.
Sometimes I'm loquacious and sometimes I'm not. So when you get me in my moods, enjoy.
So it's not like I'm talking to myself, and it's not like there's a voice coming from behind the bookshelf, but he's sitting right here and he does what he does.
J to the fucking C. That's right. What you got?
So, if you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and click the notification button. It will let you know when new episodes are online, and we try to do it every Sunday. We skip some Sundays because we have lives, things are going on, but I'm trying to focus on an hour every Sunday to talk about what's happened in the week with JC when his mind is right, to catch you guys up on the news, and hopefully you'll find us comical, informative, and
we try to always stay on point with the current events
and real. And trust me, if you don't believe anything that comes out of my mouth, please do your own research. I encourage that.
The thing is, there aren't enough people like us. I'm not patting ourselves on our backs.
But aren't you, though?
But the thing is, there aren't enough people that call out the bullshit. I call it out immediately. I'm a very quick judge because I can see what the fuck is happening right away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
just
contemplate.
just because you
I
put
don't deliberate.
Well, just because you put an F-bomb in front of words doesn't mean that you're calling it out.
Yeah, it does. I'm fucking calling it out.
Oh God, here we go.
Yep.
Anyway, that's that with who we are. And like I said, please follow us on, you are on
Lord_John B.
at Instagram.
Well, Instagram or
and TikTok. You and Twitter is.
I don't do Twitter.
Okay, well, he's on it. He doesn't do it, but he knows what's going on. So
I
am Lord_Tim Matthias across all platforms as well. So go follow us there. We'd really appreciate it. But mainly come back here on Sundays. Sit down. This show will air at 4 p.m. on Sundays, so you can get yourself a nice glass of wine, whatever time zone you're in. You can either watch us or you can just turn off the video portion and just listen, because it's designed to be a podcast as well.
And sometimes, depending on where we are in the world, it might be delayed an hour.
Well, it doesn't matter, sweetheart. Podcasts can broadcast whenever they broadcast. What are you talking? See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. You gotta understand what I'm looking at when he's saying like what comes out of his mouth.
Say that 3 times fast.
He thinks he's talking duck to a chicken. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Now, can we talk about your glasses? Those are new.
No, well, okay.
I like them.
I wear a lot of glasses, yes.
But these ones are quite unique.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So anyone watching and wanting to know where I get my frames, I get them from Vogue Me. That's VogueMe.com. Discount code LordTI. Go get you some. So, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to wrap up, guys. So, look for us every Sunday, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for No Auction Sundays with Lord Tim Matthias and Lord John B.
You heard it.
See you guys next time.